Welcome home. I own a piece of Fort Wilderness. Welcome to our new Fort Wilderness Cabins review. Yes, the newest accommodation at Walt Disney World in Central Florida. David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency. Thank you for joining me on my luxury travel show today. Please like and subscribe wherever you're watching this and leave a comment in the chat and tell us, have you stayed at Fort Wilderness? And if the new cabins will convince you to stay on your upcoming trip to Walt Disney World. So yes, we were there opening day, July 1st in Loop 2500. We had an opening day reservation because I have priority. Today, we're going to cover the history of the cabins, the construction schedule. We'll also give a new cabin tour and some feedback. I'll show you a piece of my video that's already on YouTube and talk more about that. We're also going to give you some tips at the end of how to book and maximize your stay in a new cabin, and also give you a history of Fort Walt Disney World, which opened in 1971. So stay tuned for that. So first off, let's talk about the cabins and what happened throughout the years. Fort Wilderness did open in 1971 with 280 campsites plus Airstream trailers. That's right. That's the first year Walt Disney World opened. There was just Magic Kingdom, the monorail, the Polynesian, and the Contemporary, and there was Fort Wilderness. The rest of the 47 square miles they have there was pretty vacant. They had a small version of the campground, which is now 880 campsites and 365 cabins. But they decided that, hey, not everyone can camp. How about we give them a way to stay here? 280 campsites come in. One of the loops they have, mostly down by Bay Lake, that's there now. And they decided to sponsor with Airstream to offer accommodations for people who just want to drive in. Later on, that transitioned in later 70s into a Fleetwood sponsorship. And then after that, there was a First Cabins. You can see the remnants of the Fleetwood sponsorship at this overgrown platform right near Pioneer Hall. On the way to the bus stop on the left, right where the haystack horses hang out, you'll see this platform in the woods. That was a Fleetwood showcase for their sponsorship, and you could stay in a Fleetwood trailer. A few years later, they realized that sponsorship went away. Let's give people drive-up cabins. And you can see pictures online. The only remnants of the old First Cabins, if you go to Bay Lake and the dam area behind Loop 300 and walk over the dam to the other side, across the way where there used to be a nature trail, there is remnants of an old cabin there. Those first basic drive-up cabins that were very small led to what's called wilderness homes. These were trailers they just pulled in, pretty basic and rustic. And this was a big thing back in the 80s, so much so, the sign at reception outpost today when you walk up says, "Welcome to Fort Wilderness Campground and Wilderness Homes." They have not changed the name since the transition to today's current cabins, which are the Wilderness Cabins, which came around the mid-90s, which were nicer trailers, all built, just put in and put down. And then that led today to now the new cabins opening July 1st. The current cabins, which is most of the loops now, I'll talk about which loops are in construction on a reservation. You can reserve a current wilderness cabin, been around since mid-90s, and they're pretty nice now because they were renovated completely in 2015. Complete gut job, new kitchens, new bedding. The old white coil appliances are gone and a whole different format with a beautiful pull-out couch. I did miss the old Murphy bed. I like some things, the old configuration, nice, new configuration, nice too. And Disney's smart to sell these now for about $55,000. You can buy one online. And a lot of campgrounds are buying these trailer-type cabins. At the same time, my dad and I were visiting to kind of fish at Fort Wilderness by that famous dam on Loop 300. And we saw, to our eyes, like, oh my God, there's cabins going down the street on forklifts. They remove entirely Loop 2100 because they see their demand was higher for full hookup campgrounds versus the cabin. They already had the infrastructure. They just had to put in the concrete pad, reconfigure some things, and boom, a few months later, they sold all those cabins to Hermosa Springs Nature's Resort, Homosassa Springs. And then they had 44 new campsites. I thought they were going to move the rest, but thankfully they're not. Because now we're moving forward to the new cabin. So you can still book an old cabin until April. We'll talk about that. And now the new cabins, just about 25 open. Very hard to get. We'll talk about that if you're a vacation club, but more are coming online as you look out dates. So stay tuned for my tips at the end. July 1st, 2024, one loop 2500, the smallest loop, yes, the smallest loop, did open for reservations, about 25 cabins or so. That's why it's a little bit of battle now, but don't worry, more coming online. So let's talk about the new cabin construction schedule as we're talking about today's day and age. When's the best time to book? When are they going to be open? I got a quick video coming up of the construction because they are not trailers. They're very different than the older cabins. Loops 2200 and 2300 are completely under construction right now, totally closed except for cast members and construction teams. Those will open around late summer. One guy told me a month. To me, it looks longer than that. Figure late summer, that's about additional 80 or so cabins. Those are bigger loops and a lot more cabins coming online. That means more reservations available after that time. Then they have an idea when these things are going to open. It's a pretty set schedule. Then they're going to start on loop 2800 next month. That's a monster loop. 2800 and 2700 are about 50 plus cabins. Big, massive loops if you look at a map on Fort Wilderness. To give you a sneak peek, here is the construction, how it looks in cabin 2200. These are kits that come in. They're using the field you see on the left down Fort Wilderness Drive after the left of the cabins, Peacock Pass Road. And that's normally for spillover parking. Not sure how that's going to work for Halloween and Christmas this year, but we'll work that out. And these are kits that come in pre-made in a warehouse factory, but they are completely put together on site, and they are fastened in deep into the ground about 18 feet. They put these concrete piles in. So our HVAC guy, Dexter, who was amazing, told us the whole process because he's been there 25 years and he's watching it happen. These are hardcore. They are building these for future storms in the area. Hardcore construction. We'll check it out right now. David Hartman, Disney Fort Wilderness. Loop 2200 under construction. We thought these were built trailers. Turns out that most of it's built here. This will be open probably in a few months. The main structure comes, I believe, on a trailer. Well, if you look close, this window here, these things are gutted. So that is so cool. Actually build them out right here, just like tiny homes. Awesome. We're very impressed. Check out my video tour on YouTube, Fantastic Endeavors, of the full cabin. Opening day. More to come. They'll all be done by April 2025, all 360. Impressive. All that green is just the insulation on the inside. You can tell the insides are totally vacant. So they have the walls, they put them together. All the exterior has been pre-fitted. All the different colors you saw in my video, you'll see coming up. You'll see the different colors of cabins, not just one color on the outside. The current cabins are all brown. It's easy to differentiate these new and old cabins because on your right, when you come in the Pecan Pass area, you'll see all the old rustic brown cabins, all the same color, all the same look. The new cabins have different decor and same design, but different colors. There's a reddish, there's a brownish, there's a greenish. It's all very cool. But I was impressed. Like, whoa, these things are really on a hardcore framing system on the bottom base. And then they are being put together like full construction. Yes, prefab, pre-done, so it goes quickly, but very solid construction and very impressive construction. As you look inside our cabin right here, and just see our tour coming up. So we expect all 350 cabin replacements to happen. That means all the loops currently from 2200 to 2800 will be done by April of 2025. So if you're looking ahead to booking, and I'll talk about the nuances of vacation club versus Disney travel company, I'll give you my tips at the end. Stay tuned for that. You're going to see that the more you book probably in the spring is going to be easier because there's more cabins ready and more cabs online. I expect 2800, a big loop, to come online probably closer to the middle of the fall. They say the construction goes pretty quickly. Remember, if you want an old cabin, you can always buy one online for about $55,000. Next up, let's go into our new cabin tour. Again, this is a 6.5-minute video already on YouTube, already trending in numerous countries. Just want to give you guys a quick little taste of the tour from the outside to the inside. Then we'll talk about what are the hits and what are the misses after my stay in the cabin on July 1st. Welcome to Disney's Fort Wilderness Campground, a Walt Disney World original. Been here over 50 years. July 1st, 2024, the new cabins are open. Just loop 2,500. They're going to replace all 350 plus cabins. This small loop is a start. We're here opening day. Give you a sneak peek. These wonderful new now vacation club accommodations open to the general public through Disney Travel Company, a travel agent like myself and Fantastic Endeavors. Or if you're a DVC, Disney Vacation Club, use your points. I own a contract here, so we'll be here for Halloween every year. Gonna be here for Christmas also, mid-December. We're here opening day, 2514. We're the first ones to stay in this one. They had some VIPs, the first 10, but no one's been in this before. Hi, Bonnie. Bonnie's working hard. Brand new deck, brand new furniture, and some very cool hidden Mickey chairs. Love it, love it. And check out these windows. My one knock of the old cabin was the lack of lighting inside, very dark. These have plenty to see. Let's check out the inside. Cabin 2514. This is your first look. Very open, very modern. All new appliances, obviously. These are literally trailers they built off site and dropped them off about a month ago and then hooked them all up. Now they're ready to go. Beautiful kitchen. Well equipped. I'll give you a sneak preview of what's in the cabinets in a minute. And make sure you have your proper paperwork. Nice note from the general manager, Lauren. And of course, at Fort Wilderness, you have to know your activities. Check out the bedroom first and then the bathroom. I'll give you a sneak peek of the new bedding system. It does sleep 6. You'll see right here. You got the queen bed. Beautiful interactive TVs. Dave's here, obviously. Mickey's here, staying with us. Chip and Dale, the mascots of Fort Wilderness. They do a sing-along every night, weather permitting. Love all the decorations and decor. Again, so much better lighting. Much nicer, bigger TV system for the parents' room, and of course the bunk beds. Gonna pop up top first. There's a separate light for each one for reading for the kids. And this is traditional, just different layout with bunk beds in the old cabins. Check out my older shows on Fantastic Endeavors on the Dave's Disney playlist. In the lower bunk. Real solid layout. Got some drawers down low. The storage for the kids, and then new theme at Disney, the under the bed storage. And a big dresser with plenty going on. Safe, of course. Big drawers. And of course the bedding for the Murphy bed outside. And some more Disney theming. And the Hartman family is here. Love the TVs. Gonna put the Euro on soon. Separate AC unit here. It has a multi-tier system with one quiet compressor in back. So when you sleep here, you can control the whole system separate from the living room. And here is, that's 4 there and then 2 here. The new trend at Disney since Riviera we stayed this weekend is the pull-down bed we'll check out last. We'll check out the bathroom. They give you some detail of the kitchen. Love the mirror and decor, and of course while you're here, I haven't done it yet, but try the archery every day at like 2 or 3 o'clock. Check your activities calendar. Hello. Just love the lighting, love the decor, did a real nice job. Easy to build these because they were built in a warehouse. And of course, everything you need. You even got a vacuum for the housekeeping staff. Plenty of towels. Met the director of housekeeping, the manager. He's awesome. He worked at Old Key West, so they brought him here because he understands vacation club members and all of our needs and all of our demands. Beautiful shower, much improved than the old tub in the old system. Of course, a new trend to save on plastic. I know you missed the take-homes, but that's okay. Then more towels behind the door. That's about half the video that's already on YouTube. Video on YouTube, I go into more detail what's in the cabinets in the kitchen, really go into the minutia and the different views you get in the cabin. So please check that out and like and subscribe to my Fantastic Endeavors channel. And please go back to those shows I have there about December 2021. I do a full tour of our stay of Fort Wilderness and stay in our cabin there. It's a much different night and day. I will say people love the old cabins without staying in the new cabins. You have to see the new cabins. They are doing tours on Loop 100. Check into the DVC kiosk any day of the week across from Pioneer Hall. They'll walk across a new walkway. And there's always been 2 cabins no one knows about Loop 100. We always try to stay there. It was hard to get. Instead, those are now new cabins for tours. Please take them and check them out before you decide on staying. But there is quite a difference and quite an upgrade. But there are, with anything new in accommodation, hits and misses. I alluded to a few on my video, so stay tuned coming up. First off, the hits. The hits for me are the lighting. Right when you walk in, there's a major difference. Most time, those indirect lights in the cabin never worked. I'd always report them. They'd come and fix them. Sometimes they wouldn't. Even when they did, those old cabins were very rustic and dark, even darker before the new appliances, back when they had white appliances, a little lighter after the renovation of 2015, going back to my history at the beginning of the show. But yeah, the lighting is so much better, so much lighter and brighter. Some people say, oh, it's too modern and it doesn't fall in line with the Fort Wilderness. All the nice decor, like the behind me, the painting behind me, the painting inside, that makes up for the Chippendale or Lola the Chippendale representing today. They are the mascots of Fort Wilderness. They do a sing-along every night. Please check your schedule for that time. Lighting is amazing. Bathroom is 100% better. No hands down, no argument, except one client did say, oh, there's no tub to wash my kid. I'm like, sorry. For adults, it's 100% better. Yes, I understand the tub thing. And by the way, this is a regular cabin. Accessible cabins have a different layout. There's an extra wardrobe in the bathroom, and the tub is different. I will get a video of that when I do a tour, but the tours weren't available the one day I was there. But I am going back on Halloween, and we'll go back on campus for that tour. Bathroom is amazing. TVs are awesome. Big screen behind me. Love the welcome. We have the welcome party. Make sure you go one more and get this screen. I love the music. They have a great music track, as in all the resorts now the interactive TVs have. And there's also the bigger TV in the bedroom is fantastic. The Murphy bed is 100% better. Back to the old Murphy bed pre-2015. Imagine that. Yes, an improvement that goes back. That was more rustic Murphy bed. It had that full mattress because they went from the awesome Murphy bed and the tube TV. TV was better, but when they put the TV on the wall, they had to get rid of the Murphy bed and whatever. It was a better TV, but 2015 cabin went to a pull-out couch. It was that one solid mattress, but it still was a split mattress. Not as nice as the full-down queen-size Murphy bed, a full Murphy bed. Just one pull. You'll see in the video if you follow the whole thing on YouTube. Full air fryer oven. Yes, full air fryer oven. The renovation took away the old coil stove, probably for the better. Wasn't working that well. To just a hot plate in a convection microwave that, I don't know about you, but I don't like those things. Never tried them. They don't work very well. I think we used it a few times. This is a beautiful, which I showed in detail in the rest of that video I just showed you on YouTube, is a full oven. It has air fryer options. So definitely check that out. There's a lot more other things too in comparison, but overall in general, how it compares is I would look at this as a deluxe studio with a full kitchen. Okay. One big miss I didn't list, but I will say no washer and dryer. But that was a known quantity going in. Wasn't surprising. The cabins didn't have them before, but there is a washer and dryer facility, Loop 2500. You may hear it's closed. It's temporary. They're fixing it. It's no problem. And in my tips, I'll tell you how to maximize that option and take advantage of the washer and dryer at the Wilderness Pool. That's a big miss, but there's also more room because of not having that. But the point values do not compare in Vacation Club. And the price to, if you're just a travel person booking through a travel agent like myself and Disney Travel Company, the price of these and the point values for Vacation Club owners does not compare to a one bedroom. They are much lower. They are in line with the higher end deluxe studios out there. So, and deluxe studios do not have the washer and dryer, but this one has a full kitchen. So to me, this is a plus win-win. And yes, we'll go on to the misses. No washer and dryer is a bit of a miss, but it was also a known quantity because the cabins never had those anyways. And the pricing and the point values don't match a full one bedroom on the rest of campus. The misses, yeah, some of these are be tough to fix, may not be fixed anytime soon. The AC noise is unbelievable because they have this great Mitsubishi unit outside, which to me is underpowered. We talked to Dexter, my AC man, the next day because we had a major problem that night that they are remedying. The new construction AC was running, was clogging the vent, and the AC was also overdone because do not leave your door open when you're there because it will shut off the system. And I think we overloaded our system, so it did shut down at night. We had back and forth, but we learned, and they're going to learn too now that they're going to clean all the vents before people check in. Overall, it's underpowered. The thermostat's on the wall, and that's not a good thing because that's where the heat is. So it thinks it's hotter than it is inside the unit. They're going to have to resolve this if this continues. But overall, to me, the problem is that's not going to be resolved is the noise. If you're in the living room, the noise is coming through a very small vent, so it is pretty loud. You get used to it. But was nice and cold most of our time there. It was really our fault on the door opening and not knowing better. So they're going to put messages in the room saying, hey, keep your door closed, like most hotels. And they are going to do some adjustments to the schedule of that and to the filtering system to improve that going forward. The cabinet design is a bit of a miss. I didn't have much stored for what little food I brought. We had a one-night stay opening day, and I had nowhere to store anything. The counter space is big enough. I was putting coolers way up on top using my 6'4" height. And I'm like, there's a bunch of cabinets that are dead because they have electronic components well hidden. Plenty of draw space you can use. I was like, I don't understand. When then the silverware drawer comes out and hits the oven, so it looks like something designed was first before they put a curved handle on the oven. Not a big deal because you can access all the silverware pieces, but if you want to store something behind the silverware tray, you probably can't. And then the couch TV placement, I heard a lot online already. How do you watch that TV? Obviously, two people on that TV is going to be a problem. One person in the far corner, fine. People spread out. We had the CONCACAF U.S. game on that night. Not a very good game for the U.S., but TV was great, and we were spread out among the parts of the cabin. Some were outside, some were inside, and it was fine. I don't see that being a problem going forward. We'll take an adjustment. Other misses I mentioned right with the washer and dryer, and then overall, these are something to get used to. I didn't mention the bathroom and the lack of bathtub, but the accessible cabins are a little different. Each person's going to have their own preferences and things that this will be a hit or miss. But these are the major ones I think that you're going to notice when you go. Overall, to me, it's a win-win upgrade, especially moving to points. Some people say that's a big miss. Why are they making these vacation club? A lot of it's monetary. Disney is just whatever. We want to defray costs of Fort Wilderness and transportation to vacation club members. Thanks, I own a contract there. But to me, by taking this upgrade and putting that on vacation clubs tab a little bit, fine. I think it's a big improvement. I'll take it. I'd rather stay on my points. And producer Bonnie and I own numerous contracts. Instead of paying $500-600 a night, and these are going to trend towards $700 a night for the new cabins, depending on the dates. We'll see as the trends and dates kind of fall out. By the way, you cannot stay on a cast reservation until September 27th, and that's moving into my tips and new booking. So when you book a cabin, how can you book? There's a number of ways. First off, purchase a DVC cabin contract, especially that's an 11-month booking window. DVC is Disney Vacation Club, if you're a normal traveler watching this show today. And that's their timeshare program. Look into it if you haven't already. I love it. I own like 4 different contracts for different reasons at different resorts. You have priority or home resort. So my home resort is Fort Wilderness, very small contract that gives me guaranteed 3 nights for Halloween every year because that is the hardest night to book a campsite or a cabin. Points can only be used for that type of priority at the cabins. You can use points for Disney hotel reservations, but it's not the best use of time and it's limited, so I won't go there. But for my contract, I am guaranteed Fort Wilderness because 11 months out in late November, I'll be booking my next year cabin contract. I've already booked this year easily for Halloween at the fort. I'm using points instead of spending cash and credit card for around anywhere $600 to $700 a night. And to me, that's a win-win. It's a long-term investment. Next up, if you're already an existing vacation club member, no worries, no need to buy a contract. To me, honestly, I'll do a whole show about this for just my Disney channel. To me, the investment for your first contract, I wouldn't do it there. I would just buy a small contract at Vacation Club for Fort Wilderness and then invest somewhere else that has lesser dues. The dues are a premium commensurate with our shoreline resorts of Vero Beach and Hilton Head. I don't think that's fair. I think it has to do with the new construction and the threat of storms there. But it is what it is. So put that into your equation when you look. But if you're an existing DVC member, go ahead and book 7 months out. Just mind your day patterns and do it right away because they're all going now until April, which is we're getting to that time period now. 7 months out, book it now. And then as we get past April dates, it'll be a little bit easier. But it's still 350 units is not a lot. And they are going to go quickly as this becomes popular and the rates are going up. The demand on the Disney travel side are getting higher. So I just book it 7 months out at that window, 8 a.m. online. DisneyVacationClub.com. Doesn't hurt to try earlier that morning, by the way. That's how I booked this July 1st reservation. Hint, hint. Book now for Disney Travel Company. There'll be less inventory over time. Well, gee, Dave, you just told us there'll be more inventory over time. Well, yes and no. More cabins are going to open due to new construction, but Disney is selling more inventory. As long as they get a certain percentage of sales, they can claim more for Disney Vacation Club. That means less cabins available at Disney Travel Company. For example, go right now today to your DisneyWorld.com and look for inventory at Grand Floridian and the new resort studios. Last year, there's a lot of availability for all dates. Well, it's 100% sold out now to Vacation Club members, mostly existing members, by the way. It's really hard to find availability there. There's a certain thing called breakage where Vacation Club sells points back. We use points elsewhere on cruise line or for a different trip or a different resort outside of Disney. But overall, once this sells out, it's going to be hard to get cabins. Now, based on what I said previously about the dues and not being a good deal, it's going to take a long time to sell out, but they will be selling these cabins, and they're really ramping up the sales pretty hard, and people are buying contracts. So over time, as you get past that April date, book quickly, probably a year out, because the inventory is going to be less and less, and the prices are only going to go up. So you're booked. How do you maximize your stay at the cabin? What do you do to have a great time staying in these cabins? Some of these pertain to just logistics of the cabin. Some pertain to actually taking advantage of Fort Wilderness. First off, rent a Fort Wilderness golf cart at time of cabin reservation. They've invested in more golf carts. They made it harder to bring in your own. You have to have insurance. They made it much harder to rent unless you're a preferred vendor, yet they haven't listed the vendors, which is confusing. I understand because there's liability there, but Disney has ramped up their golf carts. 4-seaters are pretty easy. They guarantee 6-seaters now. It's $90 a day versus $70 a day. To me, it's worth the upgrade if you have visitors and if you have more than 4 people staying with you. Request Loop 2500 near the pool walkway. Be clear you want the lower numbers. Be clear you want the lower numbers. Why? Because the higher numbers are on the backside of the bus stop across the street, and that may keep you up at night. I know the new ones probably have a better sound insulation based on how they're designed, but I stayed in 2500 literally 9 years ago for my dad's 70th birthday, and that bus was rampant. We were right across the bus stop on the higher of 2500. So I want 2500 near the pool, but the lower numbers, which will put you on the one-way loop going straight in and put you farther away from the bus stop. And you'll be right around the corner from the pool, the quiet wilderness pool, and the laundry facility because the cabins have no washer and dryer built in. I hear you. Shop till you drop. Come prepared for a full kitchen and a charcoal grill. Bring your spices. Bring your oils. They have plenty of wonderful utensils. Bring your own if you want. But we had a great time grilling. The grills, by the way, you'll see in my video I just showed and the one on YouTube at Fantastic Endeavors channel. Please subscribe. The grills are not new, but they're in pretty good shape. Obviously, they always replace those as they went bad, but we looked like, hey, this isn't new. We were the first one to stay in this cabin. We're like, this isn't a new grill, but they're in fine shape. Take advantage. They are charcoal only. There are no gas grills on Fort Wilderness, or bring your own portable grill. If you drive in, you put it right on top of the grill. That's what we normally do. But we did charcoal grill that night. It was fantastic. Made some amazing chicken breasts. Prepare for no wash and dry. I talked about that. Just be prepared with the number of clothes for that long-term stay. If you want coin-operated washer and dryer, Wilderness Pool is right next door to Loop 2500. Bring cooking items. I mentioned that before, but also making sure you do it for both indoor and outdoor. And then also close those shades and curtains in the afternoon. Yes, that AC system's a little underpowered right now. They are going to work on improving these things. Keep those doors closed. Do not prop your door open for any reason. They're Magic Band enabled. Make sure I hung a Magic Band on the door when we had guests. If you have people visiting, just hang a Magic Band on the door. I mean, don't leave it there, obviously. Hang a Magic Band on the door if you have people using the picnic table. We grilled out on a very hot summer day. My Tesla hit about 101 degrees just sitting in the sun with shades in. It was a blustery, pretty hot day that day. And we had everything open to show it off, to take pictures, and people walked in. And our issue is that we turned the deadbolt, kept that door open. Do not do that. Just avoid that. Work it out where people can get in as much as they want. I have always 3 magic bands on me. I wear 2 and have a magic puck in my pocket. There's always a way to get in where I have to go. I recommend you do the same. Close those shades and curtains after the afternoon unless you're doing visitations. And study the fort schedule. Take in all the activities. And I love the plants in the cabins about using the bike barn. You can rent bikes. You can do a Segway tour. You can fish. I always fish at Fort Wilderness. The archery I've never done. I definitely want to do that. Tons of things for the kids. Scavenger hunt. We stay next to a family named Ryan Church and his wife is a famous baseball player. A couple times now, camping out around Christmas time. And they're always running off. They don't go to parks. They stopped going to parks years ago. They always are off doing something with the kids and mostly scavenger hunts. Check out the Fort Wilderness groups online and Facebook. Find out where people are doing chalk art. Go check out those sites. Have a good time. Hope you enjoyed my tips and trips. If you want to book a Fort Wilderness cabin, you have no idea where to start, contact Fantastic Neighbors Travel Agency. Myself, David Hartman, 305-453-9208, dave@bucketwithtrip.com. You can message me, my David W. Hartman Facebook page, or anywhere online you can find me, or give me a direct call. Please reach out. We also have John Medrow, who's doing a great job living in the Orlando area, and Bailey Barnes helping out worldwide travel. Please check us out. Welcome home. Yes, I own a piece of Fort Wilderness. Appreciate you watching our show. This was our new Fort Wilderness cabin review. If you're watching it now, please watch it back on recording and check out that full video on my YouTube channel. Fantastic. There, like and subscribe. Full 6.5 minutes going into minutia details of even pulling down the roof behind me, going into all the draws. We were at the opening day of Fort Wilderness Loop. Today we covered the history of the cabins, the construction schedule, and a new cabin tour and feedback. And I gave you tips how to book and maximize your stay. Appreciate you watching our show today. Have a fantastic Sunday afternoon.